Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. If you're here, welcome into the live. We have Louisa. If you're here, welcome into the live. We have Louisa. Oops, I don't know what I did. Okay. We're ready. I'm gonna latch you on. I don't know what I did.
Not my husband calling me. I'm like, how can you call me? I put you on Do Not Disturb, right? Do not disturb. Hi. How are you? No, I'm good. Did you want something? Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you, Dele. Thank you. So sorry. Not my husband calling me. I'm like, how can you call me? I put you on.
Oh, so this one's on. Oh, they're both on.
I was wondering how you can call me. Well, because I'm worried about other people calling me. I just texted him. He's good. The life. The life kind of feels like it's kind of like. Oh, okay. Kind of feels like it's kind of like we don't do this now. Oh, okay. Kind of feels like it's kind of like we don't do this now. So there's sure.
Mic check 1. Mic check 2. Mic check 1. Okay. Mic check 2.
Hey. That is. Just go ahead.
You want me
Turn
to?
Go ahead. Turn it off.
Oh yeah, you can just turn it down all the way. But do you want me to? You want me to scoot the phone this way,
I'll do it.
or should I scoot you closer to me?
Let me see if I get close.
I see what you're saying. Like the phone is not in, right? Sorry.
Get this out.
Sorry, I'm making.
That is better.
Yeah, yeah. We'll just.
I thank you always for being patient with us with our difficulties. We need to stop being difficulties and get into just getting right into it. But thank you all so much. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. As you tune in, go ahead and drop any comments about how your day has been going. It's almost noon, so we're still in the morning. So let us know how your morning
Yes.
has gone.
Mhm.
And
I think we're ready.
that's
Yeah, we'll just keep it.
all right, Sally. Before we get into why is it just us again, let's just go ahead and jump right into another episode of
What Anna Said podcast.
So again, the obvious is where is Anna and Kim?
Yes, where's Anna and Kim? They are on another adventure today. They're doing some volunteer work, some very important work today. So that's exciting for them and exciting for us to be here again.
It really is exciting. Last week they were on an adventure of doing some amazing things that is going to be more spoken of in the future. But today, Anna is out helping a friend and building something very beautiful. If you did not know, She's part of Tiki Landscaping, and if you need a house, literally a house built, I think Anna at this point can do that for you. And so Kim is on that adventure with her. That's what we're calling it, an adventure.
Yes. Mhm.
Hopefully they are getting things done, and Anna is not fighting Kim, and Kim is helping her. But they're out there
Yes.
doing a project for a
Mhm.
friend who's getting ready to celebrate her daughter's graduation. So it's
Yes.
really nice that they're out there doing that. That to us, that's more important. We'll take care of this part. You go ahead and serve your community. And so thank you too for doing what you need to do and trusting us to take care of the podcast for today.
Yes, yes. Thank you, you guys. I know Kim texted us yesterday or sometime, and I was just
Check
like,
it again. He's like, no, you said last week.
my only response was wow. Because I needed to take some time to figure out how I'm going to get here and make it work. But here we are.
Yep.
We're ready to rock and roll. We're wishing Anna and Kim all the best luck out in the blazing hot sun. Thankfully, there's some shade, so they won't be too hot.
Yeah, so thank you guys again for being patient with us because we have been speaking about diving into chapter 2 of Formed Underwater. And so if you have been following us, I sincerely apologize, and I know that you probably understand going into summer and understanding that we are also mothers and wives of a household, making sure that everything is in order. And with all the summer plans going on, and all the things that we just got done finishing, that you guys have been in a journey with us, going through scholarships, and Sally, you guys' church had just ended BBS
So much
last
fun.
night.
Yes.
Yeah, so just things that's going on. We're on summer schedule. And so again, thank you so much for joining. When you do come back, hopefully that is and will be the day that we get to dive into chapter 2 of Formed Underwater. And again, this is so much so nice because if you did not and have not purchased your book from Amazon, that is there for you. Okay. So you can hop on page 25 on chapter 2, where we got to speak about origin and where you come from and why that even matters. Why is that even before who you are, identity? And so those are really awesome things that we want to just postpone because when there is going to be all of us, when it's Anna, Kim,
Right. There's so
and hopefully
many.
you too, Sally. When you have so many perspectives and things that God has spoken to to each of us, we want to make sure that that message as well, or just different insights, also comes and projects out to whoever's
Yes.
listening and learning alongside us. Because me, Kim, and Anna always says that we're not experts, but we are literally discovering,
Yeah.
and we are figuring and finding all these things out. And so we want to make sure that we're giving also the best insights as to those who are joining us and following us in this book. So.
Yes. Hopefully, I'll get to join you guys soon. Back when we first started the podcast, it was everything was pre-recorded. So this last week was my first time being on it as a live, you know, guest member or co-host.
And you did great, Sally. I'm like, Sally, this is you. Because on that post, on that episode, we did talk about following your on social media. She is a
Yes.
social media girly. She's been on there. She's definitely true to this. And so I'm like, I'm not worried about you. Come on, because we were talking about motherhood, and you. It's such a big thing because you hadn't been in front of the camera like I think over 8 months. I think it feels to me feels so short because we're so
Yeah.
active and we speak all the time.
Yeah.
We're always in communication. So when you brought that up last episode, I'm like, what? It's been 8 months since you
Yeah,
got
since
behind
my
the
face
camera.
has been on this side.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, time.
Normally I'm behind it or I'm not present because of the time, like time constraint working with my husband's schedule. So that's why the pre-recorded sessions were really nice because we would record like 2 episodes
And then being able to just go ahead and
at
post
like
them.
6 a.m. and then edit them and post them throughout the week. Versus this, you got to commit to like, we're here
Showing
at
up
Dos Amores
11:30.
Tex-Mex, 11:30
Every Friday.
every Friday.
Yeah, it just brings us into just always thinking those and more. Thank you so much for sponsoring this live every Friday. We so appreciate your support and entrusting us to be consistent in what we do. So thank you so much,
Absolutely.
those Amores, for believing in us and loving us and making this our home, building that community. So we are so thankful for you. Diving into today's topic, Sally, which I'm so happy
Yes.
because again, the last episode I got to talk about like my favorite subject with you was always motherhood. And if you do not know or have not heard it yet, since you saw the live, we have a very special person, another extra little co-host who's joining us today.
Yes, we have baby Luisa Acanete. She's our 6th child. And if you've been here from the very beginning, you've seen different babies pop up in this podcast. We've had Sienna and then Foethi, and they just come along the journey with us.
They really do. And I remember as we reconnected, what I love about your entire family, and one of the things that we cannot stress about this is bring your children along. And so anytime you see us, you're going to see one of our children joining along. Because one of the things that I was looking on, Sally, I'm just jumping right into this thing, and it's just like the legacy of living behind your children, having them watch you do what you're doing, and you're
Right.
not just simply speaking about that,
Mhm.
or them not even knowing what part did you play in this, in whatever it is that you're doing,
Right.
has meant so much to me. And
Mhm.
so you guys really talk. Obviously, yeah, I'm taking my children to me to the store. I'm taking them to me with
Mhm.
me to church. I'm doing those things, but you
Mhm.
guys really help me see. Oh, I can bring them to everything.
Mhm.
If they have to come, they're gonna come.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, why is
So
this such
true.
a weird
Yeah.
topic to even discuss?
Mhm.
So what is like what are the blessings of that in
Mhm.
your journey of having your children come along?
Such a blessing because they get to see it as a child. And then I know that as they grow into teenagers and adults, maybe more into an adult, they're really going to look back and say, wow, I really got a hand. Not me getting emotional. I really got a hand in everything that my parents did, and just being able to see how involved their parents are and their grandparents are in everything that we do. You know, not just the fun stuff. You know, I'm all about adventure with the kids, but there's also important rewarding work to be done, and that itself is also fun. And I think it's so fun to be able to get to do it together. I was talking with Anna the other night. I was like, man, the setup and the takedown, that is like our most like we love that process. Like the behind the scenes process is so fun to us because of getting to work together. And yes, sometimes we're yelling at our kids, we're yelling at our siblings' kids and so forth, but it's such a fun thing to get to do it together and then to see the beautiful, results of that work and then being able to, okay, now all the work that we worked for, like seeing the final project, seeing how beautiful everything comes together is is definitely the cherry on the top. But even afterwards, getting to sit back, take everything down is so much more rewarding. And I think it's such a blessing because we got to see our parents do that growing up. Maybe as a child we were annoyed, most times like, oh, okay, we're gonna do this again. But at the same time, I'm like, was I really annoyed? But
Yeah.
no, not really, because we still had fun because our siblings were there or other kids were around. Like we still get to have fun through the journey of all that rewarding work that's to be done.
So my son, we go to different churches,
Mhm.
but you guys invited us to VBS, and so I got to bring my big boy there, and at the end,
Mhm.
families got to come and see what all the children have been
Mhm.
learning. And so when we sat outside with our food, we were having our refreshments. It brought me back to watching you guys in our
Mhm.
church, our home church growing up,
Mhm.
our childhood church. Because if you're just joining, then you understand. Then you're not new to knowing that we used to also go to church together. And when I met you guys at
Yes.
11 years old,
Mhm.
and your father became a youth minister, and so I remember the older sister, yes, Anna, we connected immediately. And I was very shy, very to myself, very reserved. And so having that connection with her, one of the first things that I noticed about her was every you know how we are with our refreshments every
Mhm.
Sunday or every Wednesday. And so instead of going out to play, Anna would go and clean up the over the elders as they're eating, or go back on the tables and clean up the messes. And so that became my tradition. I'm not sure
Mhm.
Anna if you remember that, but every time we're eating,
Mhm.
not saying that, I'm just saying my memory. I'm sure Sally and Kim was somewhere around cleaning too,
No.
but I'm like, but I remember
No, we weren't.
specifically that it was Anna and I. We would go and wipe down the
Mhm.
tables and clean up and put things back into the kitchen. And that became a routine that I learned from her with serving to the church. And the elders were always so happy. They're like, oh, God is going to bless you too, because I'm just normal kids would go outside and play with their friends after they were done eating. But we were cleaning first, and then we would head outside to eat. And that became, again, like uh, I'm looking for the word, just a tradition for us to do. And so when I got to sit outside with you all and enjoy that refreshment with you all last night, that's what your children were doing. And I remember um, some of your kids would come like because they hadn't left a mess behind the table. It's like they heard you guys complaining. They're like, "Who left their trash out there?" But it was like in the middle of the plane, they kind of stopped and they went back and cleaned it up.
Mhm.
But it just brought me back into that because what I'm trying to say is why I trust what you guys say is because I saw your parents live it.
Mhm.
I saw you guys live it with your parents.
Mhm.
The example of Anna teaching me how to clean and serve
Mhm.
serve our church before we went out to play.
Mhm.
That's not a everyday. That's not a behavior that you just pick up.
Right, right.
That was a learned behavior.
That
So
is so
I'm
true.
fairly certain that you guys learned in Fiji,
Mhm.
going and traveling together as a
Mhm.
family because you guys literally do these as families. When I say they take it too seriously, they take it so seriously. And but it's like, no, that's normal. Sitting
Mhm.
back and watching other people serve you
Mhm.
or sitting back and just gonna play and just leaving mess around, that's not normal.
No.
Right? Or having your parents yell, come back here, clean mess. Especially at a certain age. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, that shouldn't be again normal, right? It
Yes.
was being able to be accountable as a child that you
Mhm.
can clean up after your mess. Like so
Right.
learning that from you guys, it was 100% taught from your parents and also because you guys were traveling along with them, you
Mhm.
got to see their struggles, got to
Yes.
see, them telling you come and clean, and so I've learned that from you guys.
Mhm. Thank you for sharing that because I do remember because you're like, I'm sure Kim, Sally, you guys were probably no, there were times I did try to sneak out and my dad would call me back, but like you said, it's something that is learned, which I'm thankful that you brought that up because sometimes I expect people to just know like what you're supposed to do when
Yeah.
it comes to serving, but that's so true. You do have to like learn learn how to do it.
Yeah, because we're learning.
Mhm.
We for our little champs, as you may know, me and Sally's teachers there, and so we're teaching our children
Mhm.
leadership. And one of the things that we're teaching them is they can do it. Like,
Yes.
but most of what's really interesting, especially with children, you see the frustration through
Mhm.
them, and you're like, I know being you, are like, man, that's how I look like. Like, is that what I sound like?
Right.
Where we're teaching them like not being bossy, or teaching them not leaving people behind,
Making people feel
including
included.
yes,
Yeah.
and so we're seeing the frustration through the children. They're saying the things that sometimes we really think inside,
Yeah.
and we're like, "Wow, that really does sound." But we're learning
Mhm.
that from them, and so
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that we're, leadership has to be taught.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I love that we get to do that with our kids, getting to bring them along. I mean, sometimes we can use our kids as an excuse of why we can't do something.
Yeah.
Like why I can't do this podcast right now.
No, no, I'm bring your baby.
But
But I
we
didn't
just
even think
brought her
about it when
along.
I said, "Yeah, bring Louisa." But I was like, so I did. But I didn't. We weren't even thinking about the topic yet because we met each other yesterday, working on some things, working on some goals accomplished, and they were like, "Okay, so what should we talk about tomorrow? Since we're
Mhm.
not going to talk about the book, what should we speak about?" And we were like, next to like, yeah, motherhood. But
Mhm.
okay, but what about motherhood? Because that's such a broad topic to speak on. And immediately we were like, okay, speaking about being able to still do what you're doing and still being a mother, like that,
Right.
there shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? There shouldn't be any
Right.
division between that. You can do all of it.
Absolutely. And I think that's the one thing that before I became a mom, I know Ender like, what did I think before becoming a mom? Who did I think I would become? Honestly, I did not even think I would even become a mom. that
Oh yeah,
wasn't
yeah. Take them back all the way to the beginning, Sally.
that wasn't even on my radar at all. I mean, it probably was, but like years later, like maybe when I'm in my late 40s,
Yeah, you can probably
I just
understand who she was
yes,
then.
who I was before I became a mom is someone that I am so thankful I am not today. Just the way that I thought then. But I think a part of it was also because I knew how much of a problem child I was with my parents that I knew I didn't want to have to deal with that. Strong personality, bold, say whatever is
You're
on
about
her
to tell me
mind,
whatever child here.
says whatever that's on her mind. But becoming a mom has opened up my eyes, my heart, everything to so much more. And having children has definitely given me a big mirror into who I was and who I needed to become. And so there's been a lot of self reflection, a lot of changes that I've had to make within myself and in the way that I speak, in the way that I think. And I'm just so grateful that God has blessed me with 6 children to
Six.
be those 6 mirrors that I get to look into.
Yeah. And one of the things that for us to even get to that point, Sally, and I know that we've spoken about this many times
Mhm.
personally, is once um, once we become a mother, you don't even think about the postpartum part, like fighting the mental battles
So true.
of other things. And that's why I love your page because you're very honest and very real about how
Yes.
you work things.
Mhm.
Because it's not pretty. It's not pretty
Yes.
trying to discover things and you're like, wait, hold on. Am I like out of it? Can I get my brain together?
Mhm.
Other things.
Yeah.
And so did you have like what was your biggest battle of going through postpartum?
Ooh, and my
Because you had like
biggest
six
battle.
children.
Yes, I've
Yeah.
had 6 children, so 6 different postpartum
Yeah.
experiences. I know my fifth postpartum experience was definitely the toughest of them all, but I feel like going back to your question, you said what was
Yeah. What was your like struggles with the postpartum?
struggles with postpartum. For sure, struggles with postpartum. It was just a really dark time. I know for my first postpartum, it's trying to figure out who I am. Like I
Yeah.
just became a mom, but like I'm no longer the same anymore. Like I have been completely changed. Like it's just like a whole new it's like, like the
Yeah.
caterpillar in the cocoon and then you become a butterfly, but instead of being a butterfly, it feels like something
You
else.
do.
But like you
Yeah.
have to go through these
Yeah.
changes to become this new person. So like what was the
Well, that's
one
interesting because I'm not sure if you're going the same, but I'm thinking I have two. I think I only have because you had six. So hold on, I have two wonderful boys, and I do realize there's a different me after every birth of each
Mhm,
of them.
mhm,
And now that they're growing, it's like God definitely He does know which
mhm,
child to give to you. Each of
mhm.
them teaches me something differently, or
Yes.
each of them gives me something that just being able to live my childhood through them
Mhm.
and with them, and
Yes.
then being able to just learn patience from a youngest. Oh my
Absolutely.
goodness.
Yeah.
He is the guy that I learned all my patience from. And then, but my oldest, he's so much like me, where I'm just
Mhm.
like, okay, I want you to be better than I am.
Mm.
He's more on the emotional side of
Yep.
things. So just all the things that I'm learning through them, it
Mhm.
really does make me better in a way
Yes.
because I'm teaching them. And then also, like we speak of the power of words, also
Mhm.
backing it up with the power of actions.
Yep.
So I can't tell my son, you need to do this and be this, and then I'm not doing it. I have to
Right.
live it
Right.
out by example.
Yep.
And so it's been the greatest, amazing blessing through having these children, Sally.
Absolutely. With postpartum, I definitely had to get out of staying within my 4 walls. Sometimes it just feels a little bit heavy, a little bit more daunting to have to pack the baby up and get out of the house. But I think that definitely helped making mom friends, building a community,
Yeah.
having a village. Like definitely some already have a village and then some people you have to create a village. And I think that was a beautiful thing that I remember hearing on the women's panel
Oh
podcast.
yeah.
One of the moms shared like she didn't know anybody, she didn't have anybody, they were far away from family, but what she did is she made friends within the community. She went to mom meetups. I mean, like sometimes you have to be a little bit more
You have to put
diligent
yourself
and
out there.
intentional.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, to get out of that fog that you're
Mhm.
in. That's why I asked you that question earlier because Sally would be like, I have mental issues. And then she shows up with all her kids. I'm like, how is she doing this?
Absolutely.
And because to me, I'm like, they can stay home with dad. You're staying home with dad. But Sally's like, nope, they're all coming with me. And so that, I'm not sure if you
Mhm.
ever noticed that about you, as that to be able to know that you are struggling, but you
Mhm.
don't look like what you're going through.
Mhm.
That like I love that about you, Sally, being able to show up and bringing all your kids along with everything that we're doing.
Mhm.
If you go and follow her socials, there's always a baby just holding
Yes.
in big events like the
Yes.
scholarship, the
Mhm.
banquets. And when we were hosting the
Mhm.
scholarship banquet, you were holding Lulu in her wrap.
And she got
And
to go on VBS too.
yeah, and no one carries it, but it's just like even as a mother looking back, I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, that's so simple. I could just have my baby on me. Just not
Right.
that I made
Right.
a big deal where I had to find a
Mhm.
babysitter,
Right.
but being able, even looking back on y'all's childhood pictures,
Mhm.
all of you are in the pictures with your dad and mom in the background or something like that.
Right.
And so that is a memory that I'm wanting to build with my children as well, being able to see them behind the scenes and
Mhm.
everything that they're doing, that we're a part of and doing it, and they're getting to live like that's their normal. Like to me, that's
Absolutely.
I like thank God so much that this is his normal.
Mhm.
When he gets to complain about, Mom, why we gotta show up early? When he gets to complain about, Mom, why do you have all of these supplies? Because we're not showing up. We are the
Right.
teachers bringing the supplies, bringing the
Mhm.
buckets of things, the tools, and he's having
Yep.
me carry all the things. And he's like, no one else is carrying anything. I know he's not saying that out loud, but I know what
He's
he's
thinking
thinking. I
it.
know what he's thinking. We're the ones who
Yeah.
has to show up and set
Yeah.
up. Like
Mhm.
these are the things that we're teaching our children to learn how to serve the
Yep.
community. So
So
I
even while they're complaining
yeah,
and kicking and screaming, like, this is what you got to do. I mean, it's the same thing. I know I've heard someone before said if they don't want to do it, they don't have to do it. But I think that's such a really sad and
yeah.
heartbreaking thing to hear because guess what?
You give them an
We still have to
excuse.
make our kid go brush their teeth
Yes.
even
Yeah.
though they don't want, like
He
I have a
doesn't choose.
toddler who
Yeah.
doesn't want to, but I still got to do it for the benefit
Mhm.
of like his future self, like his future adult teeth. So the same thing in encouraging and pushing your children to do the things that matter, with the volunteer work, carrying the bag when you see nobody else is carrying any
Mhm.
bags,
Doing
and
trash day, and they're the
doing
only group of kids who showed up. They're like, "Where's the other
yeah, they're like,
kids?
where are all the other
We gotta
kids?
set
Like
the
you are
example."
the kids. So like just those kind of things. And going back to what you said about seeing, knowing that I was struggling mentally,
Mhm.
but still bringing my children everywhere. I love that you recognize that because sometimes when you're in that fog of like that
Mhm.
mental, like just being down, like not just being down and like pitying yourself, but like I was truly going back. I'm like I was truly in a dark time, guys.
But you never left your children.
But never left my children, and I think that's one of the beautiful things of having children is because that pushes you more to like, people. I always see a quote that says, "People say that they would die for their children, but will you live for your children?" And I don't think that's just living by just getting by, but like really living to the fullest that you can absolutely live. And so, I love that you brought that up because Edward and I, or Kia and I, sorry, his name is Edward or Kia. So I never,
Yeah, which
depending
one?
on who's the crowd,
Her
I
husband.
yes, my husband and I were going through some photos, and it was during the time of being in a really, really dark space where even my internal dialogue was really dark. Um, I just
Yeah.
love that when we were going through all the photos, I was like, "Wow, I can't believe we were out doing that and we were out doing this and like look at the kids." And I'm like, "I'm so glad that I pushed myself to not be, you know, I mean, there were times that I was just stuck in bed 'cause I just couldn't get out, but just being able to see like I still did my absolute best to continue to live for them." And so, thank you for bringing that
Yeah.
up because that's so true.
Well, I remember one of the days we had a library. I did not know that. We do teach at the library. We were teaching yearly round
Yes.
and from 11 to 12. But one of the at the ULIS library, um, and please join us because we are on a series of discovery and growing. And
Mhm.
there's so many, like literally, we're growing ourselves, okay? And so join us there.
Mhm.
But one of the moments you came and you didn't bring one of your I can't believe oh you left Daniel and Sienna. I can't
And
remember
both of them.
why. And she was like, I left like I should have brought them the whole time. Like, I knew she was there, she was present, she was helping. And even though she looked more calmer and more at peace because it's just her older kids with you,
Mhm.
but I remember you were still like, I'm incomplete. I need to be here with me. That they're missing out.
Yeah, because even though they can be a lot, if you know my Sienna and Daniel, they absolutely can. And I remember that day because I was like, I looked around, I was like, oh, I should have just brought them. I just feel like I never want the excuse of them being too much to be the reason why I don't take them anywhere. Like I want them
Yeah.
to be in anything and
Yeah.
everything.
Sorry, I should have brought us too. She didn't know we're
But yeah, like I like to include my kids in everything and anything that we do because I want them to see that they belong in those spaces, And so with me leaving them that one day, I was like, we're not
never
doing
gonna
that
come again.
again
I don't care about my
unless
peace of
they're sick.
mind. Yes. And I love that because it definitely helps a mother like me, my youngest. He's on a spectrum. He
Mm,
is autistic. And so there is moments I cannot bring him if I know there's gonna be too much
right,
crowds, if
right,
the sounds, or if I'm waking up and I can tell that he's gonna because once he shows a certain pattern, I know that's gonna drag throughout the day. So
right.
if I'm going and then it hurts me because
Hmm.
I don't like leaving him. But I do know that I'm doing it for his his peace of mind and for everybody else's peace of mind. But having people like you
Mhm.
guys are so tremendously a blessing. It's so relieving because when I tell you that they're like, no, bring him
Mhm.
everywhere. Like I
Mhm.
remember you're like, bring him for BBS, and nobody
Yeah.
understand why I didn't bring him.
Yeah, until
But
I
I,
was there
yeah,
yesterday
so
and you told me.
yeah, he's on the physical side of things, okay. But um, having people who just understands and who doesn't
Mhm.
care.
Mhm.
If it was just literally the room was full of people like you guys, just
Right.
I don't want
Right.
him there.
You're
Throw these
yes.
around
Right.
people, like because you guys know how to handle him, and
Absolutely.
you guys understand
Like
the
I'll take the
children.
hit, Elias,
Yeah,
okay?
and I would love
To make sure
love.
that you have fun.
Yes, I know that that wasn't the time for him to join, but
Mhm.
anyhow, just saying having people who just understands where children are, and
Mhm.
but the most important thing is you. It's not just them being who they are. It's about them seeing what the work that we're doing and
Right.
wanting them to understand that they're able and capable of doing those things, like you said earlier. Giving them excuse like, no, they're okay. Let them like, no, that's not okay, because you're teaching them behaviors that are taught,
Mhm.
but you don't want them to go that route, not knowing how to clean up after themselves, not knowing
Right.
how to push the chairs in, not knowing
Mhm.
whatever it is that you're teaching them. Because every time we go, we're so hard on our children,
Right.
but we always, I'm not sure if you hear them, but I always get compliments like, man, your group of kids are so amazing. They're like so good, and they're like our little champs. They're quick to just clean, and they're quick to help.
They're quick to
And so
help.
when people are
Mhm.
complimenting me, complimenting them, really, it does feel nice. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, because we teach them these things. And so,
Yes.
but what I love about just that is building the business that we're building with them included. Obviously, for any business, for anything that you're building, you have to have meetings. Okay, these meetings are us with our children in the background. Okay, and some of these meetings they go on
Yeah.
so many hours
They
because we're talking about the ideas.
mhm.
And what's funny is that there's a couple of little couple of them in these groups who have their own meetings. They're like,
Yeah,
we're
they
having a
said we're
meeting,
gonna have
we're
our
gonna have
meeting.
our
Mhm.
meeting, and we're teaching them this behavior to be
Yeah.
able to get together and
Me,
gather.
yep.
What was I was like, we didn't say
No,
anything.
I said meat. Yeah,
Hmm.
I was agreeing.
Because her daughter is one of those leaders, okay? But it's like what you when they get to see that, you get to see what they're gonna become. Like, oh, okay, so this woman's gonna be a businesswoman,
Yes.
or this, my son, he picks up a lot of things that they're hearing. And I remember like one of the moments that we met together, we are speaking about this, and we are talking about just doing it, being courageous, and
Mhm.
he picked it up instead of the people that needed to listen to pick up the advice. But there it's because they're listening to these. We're having literally real life conversations of confidence and bravery and hope and all the things that's going on that we need to work on.
Right, right.
And a lot of these meetings are not nice. It's telling us the things that
No,
we need to do.
and I love that the meetings are not nice because I don't need just nice things.
Yeah.
I need someone to be like, "You can do it. Get up. You're gonna
Mhm.
do it."
What do you need to
Because
work on?
yeah,
So they're hearing
don't
this.
coddle
Yeah.
me. Don't comfort. Like, don't let me sit in comfortable places. Let me push me to get out of my comfort zone. And that's literally what happens in these meetings. That's why it's not so nice because we are pushed outside of our comfort zones, which are really great things. I want to go back to what you said about Elias. Because you mentioned that that's one thing that we do is we're like, bring him, bring him. I don't know if you remember, but it was years ago when we were still at a different church right down the street and we had like a Bible study. We had invited you to come. I don't know if you brought just Samuel or if you brought no kids at all.
Mhm.
But I remember my dad saying something to you about like, no, bring him. He's like, bring the children, let them come and sit here. And you're like, no, you don't
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
understand.
remember
You're like, no,
when I
you don't
got scolded for
understand.
that.
You're like, no, you don't understand. But that just
But
goes
he's
to
like, no, I
show
understand.
that
Okay.
goes to show that he has always been a big part of like bringing your kids along the journey, like letting them come, let him come to Bible study. And guess what? Everybody else, you guys, this is what it means, to be a village, a community, like including the kids and everything. And that's why I take my kids everywhere.
Yeah, I remember. Actually, I forgot about that moment but I remember there was a reason why I was bringing this topic because it did start from somewhere. That's crazy that you remember that. It was a Bible study. It was a
Mhm.
Bible gathering, and he saw me. He was like, "I know you have children. Where are they?" And he said, "Bring them."
Mhm.
And it wasn't excuses. It was just fear that came.
Right,
Like he
right.
runs away. He
Right.
doesn't know how to sit down.
Right.
I'm making excuses,
Mhm.
right, for him. But what I've learned is that when they are able to see other children do things, or
Mhm.
when this is their normal, they're able to adapt in that. And
Yes.
so in the beginning of trying to figure out what works best or what I think was working best for him, I was learning. No, it's bring him. There's nothing
Mhm.
wrong with him. It's you. And my perspective of how he is. Because if you know my youngest, he is, oh my goodness, like just a baby ass. Every
Mhm.
child was getting clapped for.
Mhm.
He was dancing for everybody. Everybody was
I
saying,
heard him.
"Yay, good job!" Elias is gonna hype you up,
Mhm.
and so people needs a lot more people of him out there
Yes. Yes.
to witness. So I feel like that for all of our children. When they come
Mhm.
around, they see all the things that we're doing.
Yeah.
I just like, yeah, like the world needs us.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to a sermon about that, and the pastor was like, "Say it out loud. The world needs you." I'm
Yeah.
not sure if I'm going with this,
Yes.
but
Everybody say
it's
that out loud right now as you're
me
watching. The
too.
world needs me.
Yes, of course, it's from Miles Monroe. But yeah, and just I just love that you guys were able to teach me those things in the early beginning. That's why we were talking about everything that we're doing. That our children is a part of seeing those things,
Mhm.
and the biggest a failure, I would say, or my opinion, or it's just not being able to pass these things down that we're learning. And so I'm like again going back into just knowing that this is their normal, being able to witness these things and how to fix and solve problems
Right.
and learning how to be a community. We're teaching our children how to be a village for others.
Yes. And I love that we get to do that all together.
Um, what I my favorite thing, Sally, I keep saying my favorite thing, but it really is. I don't know about you, but I'm now accomplishing things that I dreamed of,
Mhm.
and one of the things I dreamed of as a kid was to write a book. I had a passion about writing books in general, and I put that behind when I had my children because I thought to myself, in what time
Mhm.
do I have time
Mhm.
to write a book as I'm disciplining or just being a mother?
Right.
And as we began to gather and building business, building us up, we that was one of the things that we focused on was write your goals down and pursue those things.
Absolutely.
And now I can say publishing my first book in January, being a mother, if
Mhm.
anything, being the mother, right, publishing the book in the time that they're the most busiest to me, where they're like
Right.
always complaining, there's always something going on, being able to just find where I can work in between them or just
Mhm.
anyhow. Anyways, what I'm getting to, being able to finish something that I thought that I could not accomplish because I was a mother,
Mhm.
has been the greatest feeling to be able to pursue those. And then having my son, I don't know if I shared it with you, but having my oldest hold the book that I've written, and his expression for me was more happier than I was. And I was like, what? Because he was like, Mom, you did it. I can't believe, like, he was so excited and so happy. And I remember him holding the book. He was like, wow. And he was like, yeah, Edna Fry. Like, he was so marveled in what I
Mhm.
did. And I'm always thankful for God. I said, Lord, thank you for allowing me to do this in the sight of my child.
Right.
And I'm not sure if you ever felt like that before or ever hear that or like you feel like I can't do this now because I became a mother.
Yes. Absolutely. And I love that you're sharing that story, Ender, because um I cannot wait to see what Samuel's gonna do because he's seen you do the things that you put down on a list and said, "Hey, this is my goal, and I'm gonna accomplish this goal." And he's getting to see you accomplish all those goals
Mhm.
like in real
Real
time,
time.
and that I know that in itself is gonna be such a huge impact on him. And so, like, I have absolutely had moments like that. I mean, just being a stay-at-home mom, transitioning to that, and being able to take the kids on adventures and stuff like that, that to me is one of my goals.
We're not taking breaks. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if anyone thinks stay at home moms not doing. Even for me, like, oh yeah, I get to be a stay at home mom.
Yeah,
At the
yeah.
beginning of the
Mhm.
year, I've been able to do that.
Yeah.
I was like, I lied to myself. There's no
Mhm.
breaks around here. It's
There's
24
no breaks. Yeah,
hours.
it's 24 hours, it's
What?
around the clock.
You're cooking
But
food. They're eating it off of you.
mhm.
It's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
One of my sorry, one of my goals I know before I became a mom was to become a nurse, become a
I
doctor.
know.
But even though I haven't accomplished those things, because even though I haven't accomplished those things are still like a desire in my heart, when it comes to like birth and labor and postpartum. They have postpartum doulas in general. And so like I still get to be those things, just not in the sense of that's my career, like doing that throughout lifetime, but I
We
still get
are. We're
to
waiting for you to do that. Like I'm
I
like,
mean, I have
Jackie,
I
marry
have
up and be a doula.
I have women, that come and ask for advice and stuff, and being able to pour into them and encourage them,
I've seen women come
that's
up to you and
definitely
ask you about childhood birth.
yes.
How many children per birth have you given so far?
I've had 6. I'm sorry. I have
Oh,
6
at
kids, but I
home.
have 3 at
Oh,
home. Yes.
the last three, right? The last
Yes. The
three you
last
had
3 were
them
at home.
at home births.
Yes. And so I just love being able to like refer them to the midwives that I've used, or to if they're having a hospital birth, referring them to the OB that I know is going to care for their plan all the way around. So it's been, and then, like giving tips on breastfeeding and all that stuff. I feel like, in a sense, that I did accomplish that goal because I still get to do that while still raising my children. Because I don't know if I can commit to going like 10 hours
Yeah.
a
I,
day
I
away from them.
recently, because Kim, one of your sisters had her son's birthday pass on the second, and then you
Yes.
got to share the throwback of her experience at the hospital.
Hmm.
But just the presence that Sally brought, and I've had both of mine at the hospital too as well. But I didn't know that you could advocate for yourself in the way. And having you
Right.
being able to have her advocate for her own body and choice that she had chosen to deliver her baby, and just how beautiful it was that you had helped her and Yaki. Just there was so many different ways to help, keep her calm and
Hmm.
help her breathe through the entire thing. And I don't think that was even an option, because we're not against in hospital care. But what I love about what Sally does or says is that, but you haven't said it, but you say it through the actions that you're doing all these things, is that God made your body to do wonderful and marvelous things as in childbirth. So obviously, if you have to go into the hospital for any safety reason,
Right.
do that.
Right. Yeah,
But if you
absolutely.
can have your baby at
Hmm.
home, if you want to, then
Right.
you are more than capable, and this is how you do it. And
Yes.
so you really believe in doing those things and
Hmm.
helping another person do it. Free childhood home births.
Hmm.
And then also, she's like, every time we talk about people going into labor, like, what's your due date? Like, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna help you and just speak for yourself. Just being able to have your spirit of comfort with them,
Hmm.
and passion you have to do that. Like, you have to
Yeah.
follow them in
Yeah.
Yaki's videos. It is so beautiful how you
Yep.
capture them.
Childbirth education is so, so, so important because I know that's how I was able to help Kim with her thing, because she also didn't know, like, hey, you
Yeah.
can, yeah.
And that was,
So I
I
was
think,
there to answer
that
any
was her fifth,
questions.
right?
Yes, that was
Sorry.
her 5th and
Yeah.
final, and thankfully she had such a redeeming birth. It was a normal, a healthy delivery, so that was an amazing thing. And I'm just now looking at the time,
Yep.
and if you guys are, you guys still want to hear more,
Yes.
I'm so sorry, but it looks like I have been, I will need to go.
Yeah. We are
I'm
so
sorry.
thankful to be able to come here. Thank you all for joining in and all the things of motherhood.
Yes. If you have any
Mhm.
questions, or you were like, hey guys, I still want to hear about this topic,
Yes.
please,
Let us be a resource.
yes, add a comment into the video or reach out to us on social media. We can always have it as a separate topic. But next week, we're going to be diving into Formed Underwater. And what page will we be on,
On
Edna?
page 25. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Again, send us all your questions and anything that you felt like I need to hear more of that. Let us know. But again, thank you so much. And we're continuing on for the next episode.
Mhm.
Thank you for having us on what
Anna
Anna said
said podcast. Bye.
Any final words? Okay. So you turn it off. Oh, you turned off from there. Sorry. Sorry.